Welcome to Unmuted. I'm your host, Judge E.J. Russell, and we're going to talk a little bit about Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, twice impeached, indicted on about 90-something charges, and the leader and winner of the Iowa caucus, the first test toward the 2024 presidential election. Donald Trump wiped the slate. He won 98 of 99 counties in the state of Iowa. However, the pundits who have looked inside of the vote say a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump are not convinced that he can win, and they would like to still see an alternative. But apparently they didn't like the alternative of Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis, because those were the other names on the ballot who came in second and third, DeSantis second, Nikki Haley third. But Donald Trump had 51% of the vote. Donald Trump left Iowa on his way to court, and I guess on the way to court or when he got there or a few days before, he lost 3 lawyers. One of his main lawyers, Tacopino, I believe his first name is Joseph, Joe Tacopino, has been leading the charge in Trump's cases. But he stepped down, his firm stepped down, taking 2 additional lawyers with him. Now, even though he may have won in Iowa, he's not doing so well on the legal front. The rats are fleeing the sinking ship. 3 lawyers in one day. The attorneys include Joe Tacopina and his 2 partners, Chad Siegel and Matthew DiOrio. They've been representing the former president in an indictment accusing him of falsifying business records over a hush money payment to former adult film star Stormy Daniels to keep an alleged affair secret in the weeks before the 2016 election. Trump has pleaded not guilty to the case's 34 felony counts. They also withdrew from a damages trial after a New York City judge awarded E. Jean Carroll, a journalist, $5 million in damages in May, ruling that Trump had sexually assaulted her and was civilly liable for defamation. Tacopino filed a declaration requesting the withdrawal of his firm's representation of the former president in the Carroll case on Monday of this week. He also requested that Judge Lewis Kaplan allow Tacopina's partners to withdraw their services. I respectfully submit this declaration in support of Tacopina, Siegel, and DiOrio's motion, made pursuant to Local Civil Rule 27.1 to withdraw as counsel for Trump with such other and further relief as the court deems just and proper. Tacopina wrote in the filing, he didn't specify a legal or factual basis to withdraw in his filing. Now, Newsweek apparently has contacted his firm and a representative for Trump by email to comment on the story. In response to the lawyer's departure, Trump critics mocked the Republican, posting on Twitter, influential Democratic account, Occupy Democrats wrote, "It looks like, the rats are fleeing the sinking ship. This is like a football team losing their star quarterback right before the Super Bowl," they added. Another anti-Trump account, Boston Smalls, wrote, "I see another Trump lawyer quit. Hey, MAGA, remember when Trump was running for president and he was like, we're going to win, win, win so much you're going to get tired of winning? How's that working out?" Another anti-Republican account with over 240,000 followers wrote, "Trump's lawyer in the punitive damages E. Jean King Carroll case just filed to dump Trump. as a client one day before the trial starts. Now, the trial they're talking about is a second trial, and we'll get back to that here in a minute. Now, Mary Trump, the former president's estranged niece and frequent critic, said the loss of counsel is a major setback for any defense. Now, previously, I think Trump had already lost 2 other lawyers. I don't know, maybe they're not getting paid, or maybe they have a client that wants to do what he wants to do and not to follow their advice. And a client like that is a dangerous client indeed. This close to trial, lawyers will have spent hundreds, perhaps thousands of hours compiling evidence and gaining an understanding of the nuances of the case, said Mary Trump. New lawyers might not have to start from scratch, but catching up would be a difficult task. And that is just too bad, she wrote in what appeared to be an ironic tone. Now, could this be a Donald Trump ploy to delay and postpone this trial? Because for him, that is always a strategy. Now, he's entitled to that strategy if he can get the judge to go along with it. But one thing's for sure, this trial coming up is the second defamation case filed by E. Jean Carroll. And she is not done with Trump yet. She's taken him back to court, and this time her legal team is asking for $10 million in damages over allegedly defamatory statements the former president made about her back in 2019 when Trump was still in the White House. Carroll had just come out publicly accusing the former president of rape, and he vehemently denied it, claiming Carroll was totally lying, that she was not my type, and that I don't know anything about her. Carroll sued Trump for defamation, but the case was paused while the Justice Department intervened to decide whether the former president was acting within his scope of his presidential duties when he made those comments about Carroll's allegations. In the meantime, New York passed the Adult Survivors Act, opening up a look-back window for survivors of sexual assault to be able to sue their abusers. In response, Carroll filed a second lawsuit against Trump, accusing him of rape and defamation for separate but similar comments denying her accusations. Despite its name, Carroll too went to trial first in May of 2023, and a jury determined that Trump was liable for sexual abuse and defamation. The Department of Justice also concluded that Trump was not acting within the scope of his presidential duties when he made those 2019 statements about Carroll. Now, with Carroll 1 heading to court, a judge has assessed that given the previous victories, Carroll does not need to prove Trump defamed her again, so this case is only about how much he owes in damages. All right. Now, that means that he will simply have to talk about, will she get the $10 million? Will she get $1? Will she get something in between? Because she's already proven that he did assault her sexually. So the fact that he's called her a liar, that he said that he doesn't know her, and he continues to say, I don't know her. I wouldn't know her if she walked in. All of those kinds of things continue to perpetuate his defamation of her character for even alleging and winning on the point that he sexually assaulted her. But Donald Trump is his own worst witness. He just can't keep from attacking the judge, attacking the court, attacking the victims. He attacks everything but the information that is alleged in these claims against him. And at some point, he is going to have to face those accusations head on. We'll be right back after this break.